That shiny bottle or frosted glass might look refreshing, but for many adults, especially seniors, it's not refreshment. It's a ticking time bomb. Behind the bright colors and promises of energy and hydration hide sugars that send your blood pressure soaring, chemical additives banned in Europe, and quiet FDA inspection scandals that rarely make the news. Today, here on Healthy Hues Wellness, we're counting down the 9 drinks you must avoid at all costs, and the 2 that are actually safe for your health and peace of mind. Let's start the countdown at number 9: diet sodas, those zero sugar cans that fizz like freedom and promise guilt-free enjoyment. You hear the pop of the tab, smell that sweet artificial scent, and think you're making a smart choice. But that shiny can is a chemistry set in disguise. Zero sugar doesn't mean zero risk. Instead of sugar, you're sipping a cocktail of artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose substances the food industry promotes as safe, even smart. But independent science says otherwise. In a 2022 study by the Harvard School of Public Health Regular Diet, soda drinkers faced a 20% higher risk of stroke and dementia. For older adults already managing blood pressure medications, that's not a random statistic, that's Russian roulette with your brain. And it's not just your memory on the line. Aspartame also puts stress on your kidneys. The National Kidney Foundation has warned about this for years, especially for seniors whose kidneys already work overtime processing daily medications. Think about that. You're promised hydration with flavor, but what you're really doing is forcing your kidneys into double shifts. So ask yourself, would you gamble your memory for a can of fizz? The betrayal runs deeper. The commercials show smiling grandparents, athletes, ice cubes sparkling under the sun, all symbols of health and vitality. But behind that marketing, the FDA approves sweeteners that Europe strictly limits. In fact, as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pointed out, many products that line American shelves would never make it past European regulators. What's labeled diet here might actually be restricted or banned over there. Let's talk about the sensory truth. Take a sip of Diet Cola. At first, the fizz bites sharply on your tongue. Then comes that strange sweetness with a metallic edge, almost like licking an old coin. The bubbles fade, but the aftertaste stays coating your mouth in something that feels unnatural. That's not refreshment. That's residue. Research confirms it. Diet sodas don't help you lose weight or manage blood sugar. They trick your brain into craving even more sweetness, setting up cycles of spikes and crashes, the exact opposite of what most people are trying to avoid. And if you're taking insulin or heart medications, it's a dangerous mix. Cardiologists have warned for years that artificial sweeteners can worsen irregular heartbeats, trigger dizziness, and even amplify certain drug effects. This isn't fear-mongering, it's physiology. Your body isn't designed to decode chemicals that mimic sweetness. It expects real food, real hydration, real balance. Instead, these zero-calorie promises end up confusing your brain and punishing your organs. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up fizz forever. You just have to make it honest. Swap that diet soda for sparkling water with a slice of lemon or lime. You'll still get the bubbles, still enjoy the ritual, but without the brain fog, kidney strain, or chemical residue. Real refreshment doesn't come from a lab. It comes from nature. Have you ever switched from regular soda to diet and somehow felt worse? You're not imagining it. That lightheaded feeling, the fatigue, even the sugar cravings, it's your body's way of saying something's off. And if diet soda can quietly do that much harm, imagine what happens when we move up to number 8 on the list: energy drinks. Those tall neon cans that hiss like a snake when you open them. They promise focus power and stamina. You take a sip and that metallic syrupy flavor hits your tongue. For a few minutes you feel charged, alert, ready to take on anything. Then 10 minutes later your heart feels like it's playing a drum solo inside your chest. Here's the truth behind the promise. Energy drinks aren't giving you natural power. They're hitting your body with a stimulant stacked massive doses of caffeine, usually between 160 and 300 milligrams per can, plus guarana and taurine for an extra jolt. Add in sugar or artificial sweeteners, a cocktail of acids, and proprietary blends with undisclosed doses, and what you're really drinking is uncertainty. For healthy adults, that's already risky. But for older adults, it can be outright dangerous. If you're on beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, blood thinners, or diuretics, this caffeine surge can trigger palpitations, dizziness, blood pressure spikes, and dehydration. Emergency room nurses see it every day, people stumbling in with racing hearts and trembling hands, insisting they only had one can. One can. That's all it takes when the formula is designed to push your body beyond its safe limits. What's worse, regulatory loopholes let many energy drinks slide between categories. Some are labeled as dietary supplements, others as beverages, different rules, different safety checks. Meanwhile, Europe caps caffeine content and bans certain additives entirely. In the United States, the same formulas are freely sold to teenagers and seniors alike, disguised as lifestyle choices. Pour one of these drinks over ice and you'll see it glow like a highlighter. Smell it, it's sharp chemical, almost medicinal. Taste it, and that sweetness burns metallic. 5 minutes later, your fingers buzz, your chest pounds, and your energy crashes. It's not energy, it's an alarm bell your body can't ignore. Even the so-called hydration ingredients are misleading. Sugar dehydrates you. Caffeine pushes fluid out of your system. Some formulas pack phosphates that stress your arteries, while excessive niacin can cause skin flushing or interfere with statin medications. For seniors, that's not a pick-me-up, it's a trap. And the reality behind the scenes isn't any prettier. Many convenience store energy drinks sit on warm shelves for weeks. Storage near heat vents can break down the chemical balance, giving that bitter, tinny taste and risking packaging strain. It's a long way from the sleek performance image those brands sell on screen. But you don't have to give up your morning lift or midday motivation. The safer fix is simple and real. Brew a cup of unsweetened green tea. It delivers gentle caffeine around 25 to 45 milligrams, a fraction of what's in an energy drink. You'll feel focused, not frantic. Add a squeeze of lemon, chill it over ice, or pour it into sparkling water for a refreshing twist. You'll get natural antioxidants and a calm alertness instead of an artificial rush. Your body doesn't need neon cans or chemical cocktails to feel alive. It needs care. It needs balance. It needs truth in what you drink. So the next time you reach for something that promises zero sugar or pure energy, take a second look. Ask yourself what's really inside and whether it's worth trading your peace of mind, your heartbeat, or your memory for a few moments of fizz. Because the truth is simple. Real health doesn't come from a label. It comes from listening to your body and giving it what it actually needs. Clean, natural, honest refreshment, the kind that leaves you feeling better, not worse after every sip. Federal data shows tens of thousands of emergency room visits each year linked to energy drinks. That's not a rare occurrence. That's the normal pattern. Behind the marketing of vitality and performance lies a quiet public health issue that has become business as usual. What's really inside those tall neon cans is far from natural energy. It's a carefully engineered stimulant mix hidden behind clever labeling. The FDA allows companies to classify these products either as dietary supplements or as beverages, depending on the label. That small technical difference opens up major loopholes. Each category follows different safety regulations, and many brands use that ambiguity to bypass stricter oversight. It's a regulatory gray zone where caffeine levels soar unchecked and additives banned elsewhere slide through. As Robert F. Kennedy Jr. once noted, many of these formulas would be safer in Europe, where regulators strictly cap caffeine and prohibit certain flashy chemical enhancers. The result is an illusion of safety. Energy is sold as a lifestyle, but the supposed safety net is full of holes. Pour one of these drinks over ice and you'll see what that really means. The liquid glows like a highlighter. It fizzes with a faint chemical steam that climbs into your nose. Take a sip and your throat feels sticky with sweetness. Then comes the aftertaste, tin and perfume mixed together. Within minutes, your pulse races, your hands tingle, your chest tightens. That isn't energy. That's your body sending a warning signal. The betrayal deepens when you read the label. Words like electrolytes, hydration, and vitamins are printed in bold letters, but the reality is much different. The sugar content dehydrates you, while caffeine acts as a diuretic that pulls even more water from your system. For older adults whose kidneys already strain to filter medications, this combination is especially risky. The phosphates used for texture and preservation can also stress arteries over time, while the niacin doses in some brands are so high they can cause skin flushing or interfere with statin medications. The everyday reality of these products tells another story. In gas stations, shelves are often sticky with spilled syrup, and warm stock sits out waiting for trucks to unload. Health inspectors have flagged small vendors for storing cases near heating vents, conditions that warp the flavor and strain the cans themselves. Yet the commercials still promise laboratory precision and clean energy. And what about those botanical ingredients splashed across the label? Guarana yerba mate green coffee extract. They all sound exotic and healthy, but they share one simple truth: they are all sources of caffeine. Different names, same effect. Every sip pushes your heart harder. For anyone wearing a heart monitor, that's a rhythm you can feel immediately. There is, however, a healthier alternative. Trade the can for a cup of unsweetened green tea. A single mug usually provides between 25 and 45 milligrams of caffeine, enough to perk you up without hammering your pulse. Green tea also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes calm focus and steadier energy. Brew it hot, chill it, and add lemon for brightness. If you crave fizz, pour it over sparkling water. You'll get gentle energy and hydration without the chemical confusion. Energy drinks promise power, but what they really deliver is imbalanced dehydration, disguised as performance and stimulation dressed up as strength. Real energy doesn't come from a can. It comes from understanding how your body works and giving it what it truly needs: balance, rest, and nourishment. Now imagine something that looks a lot safer: a carton covered with pictures of orchards and bright fruit under the sun. It feels wholesome, natural, and healthy. But as soon as you pour it, you'll see the truth slide down the glass: thick, syrupy liquid that looks more like candy than fruit. That's where we head next in this countdown: bottled fruit juices. These are the drinks that scream farm fresh, yet pour out like liquid sugar dressed in a health costume. The labels say 100% juice, promising vitamins straight from the orchard. But behind that promise is an industrial process. The fruit is boiled down into concentrate, stripped of its natural fiber, reheated for pasteurization, and then sweetened again to replace lost flavor. What ends up in your glass is closer to soda than to fruit. The FDA's own pesticide residue monitoring program has found traces of farm chemicals lingering in juice samples, meaning that the clean taste you expect might carry a hidden chemical aftertaste. For seniors, this sugar load hits especially hard. A standard 8-ounce glass of bottled apple juice can pack around 24 grams of sugar, roughly 6 teaspoons. That's almost identical to cola. For people managing blood pressure, insulin resistance, or kidney issues, that kind of sugar spike can strain the entire system. Studies from the Journal of the American Dietetic Association have shown that older adults who drink juice daily experience more frequent glucose spikes, leading to added stress on the kidneys and cardiovascular system. You might think you're hydrating, but you're actually pushing your body into overdrive. The texture gives it away. Real fresh juice has brightness and pulp, but bottled versions feel syrupy and flat. Even the smell changes. It's dull, not fresh. That's the scent of pasteurization and added sugar replacing the natural complexity of fruit. Behind the scenes, the problems continue. Some production plants have been flagged for improper storage: raw concentrates sitting too warm, containers stacked by vents, and juice aging before it's even bottled. These details rarely reach the public, but they appear in FDA recall reports. Yet advertisements keep showing smiling families at breakfast tables, holding up glasses of sunshine that in reality are closer to liquid candy. The truth is simple: health isn't on the label, it's in the process. When fruit is processed beyond recognition, its benefits vanish, and what's left can do more harm than good. The smarter move is to go back to the source: eat whole fruit. An apple or an orange gives you fiber that slows down sugar absorption and delivers vitamins naturally. If you want juice, make it fresh at home in small amounts or mix it with water or sparkling water to cut the sugar impact. You'll still enjoy the taste without forcing your kidneys to battle another sugar surge. The promise of health in a bottle has become one of the biggest illusions in the beverage industry. Whether it's neon energy or so-called natural fruit juice, the message is the same. What's marketed as vitality often hides fatigue. What's sold as hydration often leaves you drained. Real health begins when you strip away the labels and see the truth in the glass. A single 8-ounce glass of bottled apple juice can contain 24 grams of sugar, the equivalent of 6 teaspoons, almost identical to a cola. For older adults managing kidney health, insulin resistance, or heart medications, that is a sugar surge the body does not need. Research published in the Journal of the American Dietetic Association revealed that seniors who drank fruit juice daily experienced more frequent glucose spikes, placing extra strain on both the kidneys and blood pressure balance. What seems like hydration can actually stress the entire system. Pour bottled orange juice into a glass and notice the difference. The smell is not bright or fresh like fruit from an orchard. It is flat, heavy, and syrupy. The liquid clings to the sides of the glass, leaving a sticky film. The first sip is sweet, but in a dull, one-dimensional way. It lacks the sharp, refreshing bite of freshly squeezed juice. That taste tells the truth. Pasteurization and added sugar have replaced the natural flavor of real fruit. Health inspectors have reported that many juice production plants suffer from poor storage practices. Raw concentrates often sit in warm areas with containers stacked near vents. Juice sometimes begins aging before it is even bottled. These issues rarely make headlines, but FDA recall lists have quietly included them for years. Despite this, advertisements still show happy families at breakfast tables, lifting glasses of juice like trophies. The promise of nature in every sip is nothing more than a polished illusion. There is health on the label, but sugar in the bottle. The orchards exist only in the design, while the liquid itself comes from a laboratory. The better choice is simple and real. Replace bottled juice with whole fruit. An apple or orange provides fiber that slows sugar absorption and delivers vitamins without the glucose overload. If you truly want juice, make it fresh at home in small amounts. For balance, dilute it with water or sparkling water. You still get the flavor, but none of the strain on your kidneys or blood sugar. The story does not stop with fruit juice. The next category of betrayal comes in bottles that shine golden under store lights, promising refreshment and antioxidants. Number 6 on the list, sweetened iced teas. These bottles drip with condensation, their labels reading brewed from real tea leaves and natural flavor. The first impression is tempting, but beneath that glow lies high fructose corn syrup, phosphoric acid, and in some cases, mold. The marketing claims a healthier alternative to soda, but most bottled teas actually contain more sugar. A standard 20-ounce bottle delivers over 40 grams of sugar, about 10 teaspoons in one serving. For anyone dealing with blood sugar control or kidney strain, that is not a drink, it is a setback. The acid that gives it a tangy bite, usually phosphoric acid, is the same compound that erodes tooth enamel and has been linked to bone density loss. For older adults already fighting osteoporosis, every sip quietly wears down the skeleton. Investigations have revealed even more disturbing realities. In 2019, FDA inspectors found mold growth in the storage tanks of multiple iced tea brands. Production sites were cited for unclean vats, sticky residues, and barrels stored in warm warehouses. Despite these findings, bottles still shipped out with labels boasting freshness and purity. When poured into a glass, the truth becomes visible. The tea moves thick and syrupy. The first sip feels heavy, not refreshing. Instead of quenching thirst, it coats the mouth in sticky sweetness. Leave it sitting out for a while and a thin, tacky film dries across the surface. That is not tea. It is liquid candy with a marketing campaign. Behind every glossy advertisement and summer-themed slogan is the same pattern of deception. The industry sells comfort, nostalgia, and health while delivering sugar, acid, and neglect. These drinks mimic the appearance of vitality but leave the body more fragile than before. True hydration and nourishment do not come from processed bottles. They come from choosing simplicity over packaging awareness, over assumption and real ingredients over artificial promises. For older adults, the risks of sweetened bottled teas strike harder than most realize. Each sugar spike can interfere with kidney filtration, while phosphoric acid gradually draws calcium out of already fragile bones. For those taking blood pressure medication, the sugar load directly counteracts what the medicine is trying to regulate. The solution, however, is simple and grounded. Brew tea at home, whether black, green, or herbal. Steep it, let it cool, and if sweetness is needed, use stevia or a touch of honey. This way, the sugar level is under your control, the additives are gone, and what you taste is real tea made from leaves, not syrup from a factory. Moving to the next drink on the list, the colorful world of sports drinks. Lined up like trophies on store shelves, glowing in neon orange, electric blue, and lime green, they promise hydration, balance, and performance. The commercials show athletes drenched in sweat pouring these drinks over their heads like liquid medals of victory. But for older adults, what is inside those bottles is far from healthy. Beneath the bright marketing lies a blend of sodium and sugar that leaves the body worse off than before. These drinks claim to replace lost electrolytes, but in reality, they deliver a false kind of hydration that can make you even drier. A closer look at the numbers reveals the truth. A standard 20-ounce bottle can contain 34 grams of sugar, about 8 teaspoons, along with nearly 300 milligrams of sodium. That combination is not hydration. It is a blood pressure spike waiting to happen. For anyone on heart or kidney medication, the effect is multiplied. Extra sodium pushes blood pressure higher, straining arteries already under stress. The sugar rush drives blood glucose levels up fast, forcing the kidneys to work overtime to restore balance. Instead of preventing dehydration, these sugary formulas actually pull water into the digestive system, leaving the rest of the body deprived. A report by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in 2021 highlighted a disturbing pattern. Seniors who regularly consumed sports drinks were more likely to end up in emergency rooms for dehydration, not less. The very beverages marketed as protection turned into triggers for hospital visits. The betrayal is silent but sharp. Then there are the colors, those bright hues that catch the eye. The neon blue and lime green shades come from synthetic dyes like yellow number 5 and blue number 1, both of which are restricted or banned in parts of Europe due to links with hyperactivity and allergic reactions. As Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has noted, many ingredients considered safe in the United States would never pass regulatory approval overseas. What American advertisements call game fuel, European regulators often classify as questionable. The tragedy is that these products don't just target athletes. Many older adults reach for them when feeling weak or dizzy, believing the word electrolytes on the label means it's safe, even therapeutic. The packaging looks clinical, but the reality inside the bottle is far from sterile. FDA records document multiple recalls for microbial contamination in flavored sports drinks. In one inspection, health officers reported mildew growing inside the mixing tanks. That bright orange bottle in the fridge could have come from a batch stored in a vat lined with black residue. The fix is both simple and powerful. Skip the neon and go back to basics. Pour a tall glass of clean water, add a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of Himalayan salt. This combination delivers real electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium without drowning the body in sugar or exposing it to artificial dyes. For an extra touch, add a slice of cucumber or a few mint leaves. That is true hydration, clean and safe, one that works with your medications instead of against them. The truth is that hydration should never come from a marketing pitch. The body does not need fluorescent sugar water to recover or maintain balance. It needs pure water minerals from natural sources and awareness of how easily health can be compromised by clever branding. Sports drinks sell the image of strength and performance, but what they often deliver is fatigue, imbalance, and confusion. Real wellness comes from understanding what your body actually needs and giving it that in the simplest form possible. The promise sounds harmless, a barista-style flavor neatly packed into a shiny can. Labels show words like cold brew latte blend or mocha swirl, selling the image of a high-end coffee experience made convenient. But behind that polished metal shell hides something far less sophisticated. Inside, there are 30 to 40 grams of sugar in a single can, sometimes even more than what you would find in a glazed donut. Add to that a dose of preservatives such as potassium sorbate and a cocktail of artificial flavors, and your morning booze turns into something closer to a lab experiment than a cup of coffee. This is the real betrayal. What is marketed as artisanal convenience is in truth liquid dessert stabilized for shelf life. In countries like Japan, regulators have enforced strict limits on both caffeine and sugar in canned coffees. They even restrict certain preservatives for consumer safety. But in the United States, the FDA has not applied the same standards. Companies are free to load up their products with whatever mix keeps the can stable for months. That means the fresh coffee you just opened could have been brewed 6 months ago, sitting in a warehouse slowly absorbing chemical residues from its container. For older adults, the risks increase quickly. Many take diuretics to manage blood pressure. Combine those medications with a canned latte packed with caffeine and sugar, and you have a dangerous combination. The diuretic effect pulls water from the body while the caffeine heightens stimulation. The result can be dizziness, tremors, or even fainting. The sugar spike adds another layer of stress to kidneys already burdened by daily medication. Health professionals see these effects often with patients ending up in emergency rooms because they simply paired their medicine with the wrong drink. Even the taste gives away the truth. That metallic edge after the first sip is not coffee. It comes from the breakdown of the can's inner lining, especially when stored in heat. A can left in a hot car or a warm warehouse develops a bitter chemical note that no amount of branding can hide. Whistleblowers have admitted that some facilities store pallets near heating vents to save space, knowing full well that the flavor will degrade faster. The cans still ship out gleaming with the illusion of quality. The fix is simple and honest. Brew your own coffee at home. Make a small batch of cold brew and keep it chilled in the refrigerator. Add a splash of unsweetened almond milk or a sprinkle of cinnamon for flavor. This way you control the sugar, avoid preservatives, and experience real coffee that tastes alive instead of artificial. But the story does not stop there. The next drink on the list takes deception to a new level. It looks playful, smells like candy, and carries promises of strong bones and wholesome nutrition. At number 3, flavored milks, the pink swirls. The cartoon labels the creamy texture that clings to your mouth. Everything about them feels nostalgic and comforting, yet for older adults they are anything but comforting. The label claims calcium-rich goodness for strong bones, but inside each carton is more sugar than a soda. A single small strawberry milk can contain 30 to 40 grams of sugar, equivalent to over 10 teaspoons in one serving. Rather than protecting bones, it disrupts blood sugar fuels, acid reflux, and contributes to unwanted weight gain. The dyes that make it look fun are another layer of risk. Red number 40 and blue number 1. Both restricted in the European Union due to potential behavioral and allergy concerns, are still freely used in the United States. The FDA has yet to issue meaningful warnings about their effects. For older adults with sensitive stomachs or kidney issues, these drinks can quietly worsen existing conditions. The heavy sugar load combined with dairy fat can increase stomach acid, leading to reflux and digestive discomfort. A study from Yale University in 2020 linked sweetened dairy drinks to higher rates of dental decay among seniors. Many older adults already deal with dry mouth caused by medication, which makes them even more vulnerable. Add sugary milk and tooth enamel weakens faster, accelerating tooth loss. Even inside the production plants, the truth is hard to ignore. Workers have described the flavor tanks as smelling more like syrup than milk, when the people making the product call it syrup that tells the real story. These are not calcium-rich health drinks. They are desserts wearing a dairy disguise. There is also the matter of insulin spikes. For those managing diabetes or prediabetes, flavored milks create rapid blood sugar surges that the body struggles to control. What appears to be a simple evening treat can throw glucose levels off balance for hours, forcing the body into metabolic stress. Health experts warn that sugary dairy is one of the most overlooked sources of hidden sugar in older diets. It slips in under the label of nourishment but behaves like a candy drink once inside the body. The healthier path is refreshingly straightforward. Skip the neon-colored milks and choose unsweetened plant-based options like almond or oat milk. Many of these alternatives are fortified with calcium and vitamin D, offering real bone support without the sugar crash. If you prefer a bit of flavor, add natural spices like cinnamon or vanilla at home. They bring warmth and taste without overwhelming the body with artificial additives. The difference between marketing and truth is clear. The can of coffee promising sophistication and the flavored milk claiming health both lead to the same place: excess sugar, unnecessary chemicals, and long-term strain on vital organs. The solution is not complicated. It lies in choosing freshness, simplicity, and control over what goes into your cup. Each decision to replace a processed drink with a natural one brings the body closer to real balance, and that is the kind of nourishment no label can fake. For older adults, managing diabetes or prediabetes flavored milk can cause severe blood sugar swings after just one carton. According to a Yale endocrinologist, sweetened dairy is one of the most overlooked sugar bombs in the diets of older individuals. What is marketed as nourishment often turns into a direct trigger for metabolic chaos. The safer option is to skip the neon-colored milk and reach for unsweetened alternatives like oat or almond milk, especially those fortified with calcium and vitamin D. These provide bone protection without causing a sugar crash. For those who want a touch of flavor, a small splash of vanilla or a sprinkle of cinnamon at home adds warmth and sweetness without the syrupy overload. Next on the list comes one of the biggest deceptions in the beverage aisle: packaged lemonades. The image is perfect: a frosted glass beaded with condensation, a bright citrus scent, and the promise of a refreshing sip of fruit and water. But the reality hits differently. The texture is thick, syrupy, and leaves a sticky film on the teeth. What looks like refreshment is in truth trouble in a bottle. The promise seems innocent, just fruit and water, but the betrayal runs deep. Many brands load their drinks with high fructose corn, syrup, artificial dyes like yellow number 5, and sulfites designed to extend shelf life. For seniors who choose lemonade believing it is lighter than soda, the sugar content is almost identical, only paired with a harsh acidity that places extra strain on the kidneys. The FDA's recall history exposes the darker side. Over the past decade, dozens of lemon-based beverages have been pulled from shelves because of bacterial contamination. Inspectors found harmful microbes thriving in the sugary, slightly acidic liquid conditions that should have made it safe, but instead turned it into a breeding ground. A single bottle can contain 50 grams of sugar, or more, equivalent to about 12 teaspoons. For older adults on blood pressure or kidney medication, that level of sugar delivers a shock to the system. It spikes insulin, dehydrates the body, and forces the heart to work harder to stabilize. What should quench thirst can instead lead to dizziness, fatigue, or even emergency room visits. A retired FDA inspector once remarked that lemon drinks are among the most commonly mislabeled beverages for sugar content. In Europe, many of these same brands must carry warning labels or meet tighter regulations. In the United States, they remain on the shelves marketed as healthy summer refreshments. The deception extends to every sense. Real lemons smell clean and sharp, but packaged lemonades give off a faintly metallic, syrupy scent from preservatives. When poured, the liquid often looks cloudy, not from natural pulp, but from chemical separation and sugar settling. There is, however, a simple and safer alternative. Skip the bottled shortcut entirely. Squeeze half a fresh lemon into a glass of cold water and add a touch of stevia or a drizzle of honey for gentle sweetness. The result is a clean, natural drink that hydrates without flooding the body with sugar or chemicals. And yet the story of hidden sugar does not end here. The final and most seductive culprit wears the mask of luxury. It comes topped with whipped cream and a green straw standing tall in glossy cups behind coffeehouse counters. At number 1 on the list are fancy coffeehouse fraps. The sight is familiar: a swirl of caramel or chocolate cream piled high like snow, the kind of indulgence that feels earned after a long day. It looks artisan, even elegant, but beneath the surface lies one of the most dangerous drinks for anyone trying to maintain healthy blood sugar or heart function. The illusion is clever, a handcrafted beverage from a trusted brand. The truth is far less appealing. A single large frappuccino can deliver up to 20 teaspoons of sugar in one serving, more than a full day's recommended intake consumed in just minutes. For older adults managing diabetes, high blood pressure, or kidney conditions, this is not just indulgence, it is a direct assault on stability. The body reacts instantly, blood sugar surges, insulin spikes, and the kidneys strain to keep up. What feels like a treat quickly becomes a trigger for fatigue, dehydration, and imbalance. Behind the sleek branding and soft lighting of coffee chains lies a product designed to sell comfort while quietly undermining health. The whipped cream syrups and flavored bases turn what could have been coffee into dessert disguised as a beverage. The problem is not one indulgence, but the normalization of sugar as a part of everyday coffee culture. What used to be an occasional treat has been repackaged as a daily ritual. For those looking to protect their health without giving up the pleasure of coffee, the solution is simple. Skip the syrups and whipped toppings. Choose black coffee or brew at home with a sprinkle of cinnamon or a dash of unsweetened almond milk. Cinnamon adds natural sweetness and supports balanced blood sugar, turning an ordinary cup into something both comforting and beneficial. These seemingly harmless beverages, from flavored milks to lemonades and frappes, share a common thread. They are marketed as wholesome, refreshing, and even energizing, but inside the bottle or cup lies a different story. One of excess sugar, hidden chemicals, and deceptive presentation. The truth is clear. Real refreshment does not come from packaging, it comes from choosing ingredients that nourish rather than harm. In the end, the simplest drinks made from water, fresh fruit, or pure coffee are the ones that truly protect health and restore balance. What looks like a sweet reward can quickly turn into a source of regret. A single large caramel frap may leave you shaky, lightheaded, and even at risk of a late-night hospital visit. The danger goes beyond sugar alone. Health inspectors have found bacteria growing inside whipped cream canisters at multiple coffeehouse chains. Employees have reported that the nozzles are often left uncleaned overnight, warm and sticky by morning. One former worker admitted that if customers knew how long the cream sat out, they would never order it again. The calories tell the rest of the story. A large caramel frap can contain between 500 and 600 calories more than a Big Mac. Add in the flavored syrups, caramel or chocolate drizzle, and the milk base, and it stops being coffee altogether. It becomes liquid cake batter disguised as a morning pick-me-up. The deception is allowed to continue because even the FDA permits these drinks to avoid posting clear sugar warnings. Across the Atlantic, stricter labeling laws require companies to disclose the truth, but in the United States, most customers are kept in the dark. As Robert F. Kennedy Jr. once noted, products sold here are often safer overseas than they are in America. Sweet on the outside, toxic inside. The sensory reality reveals the truth. The whipped cream that starts out soft quickly melts into a greasy film. The caramel drizzle hardens, clinging to your teeth like glue. The drink itself, slushy at first, thickens into a heavy sludge that smells faintly metallic from preservatives. This is not coffee. It is a dessert masquerading as sophistication. The solution is refreshingly simple. Skip the frap circus and go back to basics. Order plain black coffee. If you prefer a touch of flavor, add a sprinkle of cinnamon. It brings natural warmth and helps lower blood sugar without adding artificial syrup. For those who like their drinks cold, pour brewed coffee over ice and add unsweetened almond milk. The result is clean, light, and safe proof that simplicity often tastes better than excess. After so many drinks filled with hidden sugar, chemical additives, and false promises, it is time to turn to the ones that truly support the body. The first safe pick on this list is herbal tea, the kind of comfort that feels like a warm blanket in a cup. No fizz, no chemicals, no sugar bombs. Just clean steam rising gently from the mug, carrying scents of chamomile, peppermint, or ginger. For seniors looking for relief from harsh, sugary beverages, this is the honest alternative. The beauty of herbal tea lies in its simplicity. It does not pretend to be energy-boosting or guilt-free while hiding syrups or dyes. Most varieties are naturally caffeine-free and rich in antioxidants, making them safe for anyone managing multiple medications. Unlike diet sodas or energy drinks, herbal teas do not raise blood pressure, strain the kidneys, or trigger a racing heartbeat. Instead, they hydrate the body, soothe digestion, and calm the nervous system. The science supports it. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2020 found that regular herbal tea drinkers showed lower markers of inflammation throughout the body. Reduced inflammation means less pain, better circulation, and improved sleep quality. Compared to the sugar-loaded beverages lining store shelves, herbal tea provides true nourishment rather than temporary pleasure followed by regret. The sensory experience is equally rewarding. Chamomile carries the gentle scent of fresh hay after rain. Peppermint cools the tongue with a crisp, refreshing tingle. Ginger adds a subtle heat that spreads through the chest, leaving a feeling of warmth and balance. There is no sticky residue, no film on the tongue, no syrupy aftertaste, only a clean finish that feels like genuine health from the inside out. There is also honesty in what herbal tea represents. These drinks are not disguised as vitamin-infused miracles or superfoods. They are straightforward combinations of dried leaves, flowers, or roots steeped in hot water. What you see is exactly what you sip. For older adults managing heart conditions or kidney challenges, that honesty matters. There are no hidden sodium traps, no artificial colors, no misleading labels suggesting health benefits that don't exist. Just calm, supportive hydration for a body that already works hard every day. To make the most of it, fill your pantry with caffeine-free blends like rooibos peppermint or chamomile. Drink them warm in the evening to promote rest, or serve them chilled during the day for refreshment. Each cup offers genuine comfort, a moment of quiet health that stands in sharp contrast to the noisy, sugar-filled chaos of commercial drinks. Herbal tea is proof that sometimes the simplest choices are the ones that truly protect and restore the body. Drink them warm in the evening to support sleep, or pour them over ice during the day for gentle refreshment. Herbal teas keep you hydrated, soothe digestion, and ease stress without the dangers hiding in those so-called fun drinks that dominate the shelves. Each sip is calm, clean, and honest, but there's one more drink that deserves recognition, the simplest yet the most powerful of all. It has no marketing budget, no celebrity endorsement, and no flashy label, yet it outshines every branded beverage in purity and honesty. The final safe choice is filtered water. No caramel drizzle, no artificial color, no chemical aftertaste, just a clear glass filled with what your body truly needs to survive. For seniors especially, hydration isn't about following a brand, it's about supporting life. Tap water in the United States, however, can come with challenges. It often contains chlorine, fluoride, and even trace heavy metals from aging pipes. Bottled water isn't the answer either. Research has revealed that many bottled waters contain microplastics. In 2019, the World Health Organization raised concern over this issue, warning that it poses particular risks for seniors with weaker immune systems. The solution is not buying a new smart water with a sleek design. It's taking control of your own water source. A simple activated charcoal filter or a reverse osmosis system removes chlorine, lead, and pesticide residue, turning every sip into something pure and safe. There's no syrupy texture, no strange chemical tang, and no hidden sodium sneaking in under a hydration label. Just crisp, cold refreshment that actually does what it promises, hydrates and heals. For older adults, filtered water is far more than a convenience. It's protection. It supports the kidneys as they process medication, helps stabilize blood pressure, and prevents dehydration, one of the most common reasons seniors end up in emergency rooms. In 2021, CDC data revealed thousands of ER visits caused by dehydration that could have been prevented with proper water intake. Compared to the false promises of sports drinks and sugar-laden sodas, water wins every time. And beyond science, there's the sensory truth. A tall glass of filtered water sparkles in the light, clear and inviting. It carries no smell, no cloudy film. When you drink it, it feels crisp against the tongue, cooling without the metallic bite of tap water or the plastic undertone that seeps into bottled water left in a hot car. It doesn't coat your mouth or leave a sticky residue, it's simply clean relief the way hydration was meant to be. There's also empowerment in choosing water. You control the source. A countertop or undersink filter cuts off the corporate manipulation that convinces people they need branded purity. No more deceptive labels featuring snowy peaks while the liquid inside was drawn from a city pipe. No more FDA loopholes allowing microplastics to flow into bottled water. With filtered water, you reclaim control over what you drink and what nourishes your body. The fix couldn't be simpler. Drink filtered water. If you crave flavor, add a slice of lemon cucumber or a few mint leaves. That's it. Pure, safe, affordable hydration, no additives, no lies. At the end of this entire list, one truth remains. The only drink that never betrayed you has been waiting in your own kitchen all along. Pure water, the quiet, overlooked hero of health. It doesn't need marketing to prove its worth. It has been sustaining life since the beginning, and it will continue to do so long after the soda cans, the neon bottles, and the sugar-laced trends have faded away. Choose simplicity. Choose honesty. Choose the drink that always tells the truth. Filtered water. The one refreshment that stands the test of time and never compromises your health.